Hi, I'm going to do my commemorative speech now on Nikola Tesla, and I'm going to show my participants. So I've got Barb and Frank and Kathy and Todd and my husband Brandon, and I'm going to get started. All right. Nikola Tesla once stated, "What is the future in store for this strange man, born of breath, of perishable tissue, yet mortal with powers fearful and divine? What is to be his greatest deed, his crowning achievement?" Nikola Tesla moved on to be touted as the inventor of the 20th century, but another moniker for this incredible man was the most important inventor you've never heard of. But why? His most significant achievement was in the creation of alternating currents as a source of power. So think about the AC plug-in on the back of your electronics. But he invented so many products, and he ended up carrying over 300 patents. Today I would like to take a few moments to discuss with you the impact that Nikola Tesla had on this world. I will discuss the story of rags to riches and back to rags, his work as the prototypical mad scientist, and how he's affected your everyday life and will continue to. So Tesla was born in what's now Croatia in 1856 to a Serbian priest father and a mother who was an inventor of small household appliances. His grand entrance into this world took place during a lightning storm, after which the midwife told his mother, "He will be a child of the storm." And his mother, to counter prophetically, said no, of the light. He was plagued with cholera as a child, though, and spent much of his time pursuing intellectual stimulation as opposed to physical. He read every book he could get his hands on, with his favorite author being Mark Twain, with whom he eventually built a great friendship, actually. His mother taught him her love of innovation, and he had a born fascination with physics, wanting to further understand the electric demonstrations that the teacher was showing his class. And while he was ailing, his uncle read him a book about Niagara Falls, and Tesla became fascinated. He told his uncle Joseph then and there that he was going to build a wheel to harness the power found within the falls. Looking at the start of Tesla's life, you could see where his values come into play. His work ethic was incredible. He was known to function on very few hours of sleep, waking at 3 a.m. to start his work and often not stopping until 11 p.m. He needed to understand the world around him and what he could do to help it progress. Smithsonian Magazine writer Richard Gunderson said, "Tesla was a real-life Prometheus, the mythical Greek titan who raided heaven to bring fire to mankind, yet in punishment was chained to a rock, where each day an eagle ate his liver. Tesla scaled great heights to bring lightning down to earth, yet his rare cast of mind and uncommon habits eventually led to his downfall, leaving him nearly penniless and alone, which he was okay with. He dedicated himself so completely that he never bothered having family, and he was all right with that as well. He said, "I don't think there's any thrill that can go through the human heart like that by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, and everything else." He had some big ideas in his back pocket, though. He said, "With ideas, it's like dizzy heights you climb. At first, they cause you discomfort, and you're anxious to get down, distrustful of your own powers. But soon, the remoteness of the turmoil of life and the inspiring influence of the altitude calm your blood. Your step gets firm and sure, and you begin to look for dizzier heights." His number had come up, and he was on the path to becoming incredibly famous. But he also had a deep caring for those around him. When the company that had funded his pursuits, Westinghouse, was facing financial difficulty, Tesla went as far as to release them from their contractual payments, essentially turning down what would now be the equivalent of $12 million. Though he had his caring, it came at a price. Lacking business acumen and focusing on the invention side of things, he ended up selling 51% of his patents to GE and Westinghouse, leaving him eventually broke. And looking what we now have as a result of his creations, Mark Alessi, executive director of the Tesla Science Center at Wardenclyffe in New York, said, "There's not a lot of modern conveniences that we currently enjoy that weren't touched by Nikola Tesla in some way." He invented alternating current, radio, X-rays, the remote control, wireless communication, fluorescent light bulbs, electric motors, and the very appropriately named Tesla coils. Eventually, these inventions ended up being attributed largely to others, as they either owned his patents or were able to patent the idea that he had before them. He would share these thoughts with the friends of his, and they would often, like sharks in the water, go and turn around and patent the ideas themselves. So in time, this left him quite penniless, living in various hotels in New York City, being paid for by Westinghouse. He had been having increasing panic attacks, obsessive compulsions, and dermophobia, and he didn't enjoy spending time doing anything other than research at the end of his days. But his favorite pastime, aside from work, was feeding pigeons, one with whom he's said to have fallen in love, actually. So he ended up dying a little bit of a bizarre gentleman, but in conclusion, you can see how Nikola Tesla is worthy of so much praise. Though credited with very, very little aside from the 80s band Tesla and Elon Musk's car, I believe that more people should learn of his greatness, despite mental illness, and with whom they should credit their ability to do anything with electronics at all, including the speech. And so this man was an absolute genius, including by the standards of someone else considered the most famous intelligent man in the world. When Albert Einstein was asked how it felt to be the smartest man living, Einstein said, "I wouldn't know. Go ask Nikola Tesla." The end.